And we are back for round 4 of New Horizons Racing League Division 2 around the Spanish circuit of Barcelona to Catalunya. And the biggest shock, in my opinion, I don't think it was much surprising, is that Gamey Things in the Williams is on pole position, ahead of Blaze by Gaming in the Sauber, and then Black Prodigy in the Renault, Broke Gorilla in the Toro Rosso, Dragon on Speed, the German in the Alfa Romeo Sauber, Deranged in the Force India, getting very close to Bradley behind in the Ferrari. You have Owen, his teammate, also in the Ferrari, followed by Collins, who starts today in 9th, ahead of Tadpoles and then Slav King, who have been disqualified from the formation lap, and rounding at the back of the grid is Tommy. So what we're expecting from the race today, I believe, as we discussed just before, it will be dry all the way through, but the cloud has come over for the race.
I'm saying 50-50 chance of rain.
I've noticed that even the weather format in this game, it's not 100% accurate. Even if it's hugely overcast towards the end of the race, you might end up with interconditions, which could pop. Even if it does, I believe it would actually paint in the favour of Gamey Things, because I know his pace anyway, and to be fair to the Division 2 guys, I requested him to run the race in a default setup, but even in the default setup he should be fine even if it rains. So if everyone's running dry setups, then I don't know, this could go either way. But we've got so many people out of place on the grid, so I don't know who's going to finish where. I'm expecting possibly 4 retirements.
Who are those victims of retirement?
I would not want to say in case if anyone gets offended.
Fair enough.
We've got all the drivers lined up on the grid now. We are just waiting for the last running driver of Owen's car to be slotted into place.
Come on, Owen.
This is round 4 of the Division 2 New Horizons Championship. It's the largest grid we've ever had in Division 2. Lights are on now. 4 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go, and it's a bit of a sluggish start from the McLaren in the back. Oh, there's a crash between the Ferrari guys. Oh, that's a very bad getaway from half the grid, but still into turn 1. Reasonably okay. The Sauber getting very close to the Force India. Oh, the McLaren's been pushed into the wall. He's still in the race, but I can't imagine he'll be happy about that. Very scrappy race from scrappy start from the back end of the grid. Tadpoles leaving the session. Still close to vacancy right now. Black Prodigy trying to hold on to his 3rd place, ahead of Broke Gorilla in the Toro Rosso. Oh, but he's gone! He's gone straight off into the wall. This bumping everybody up one place. Deranged now into 4th place. Virtual safety car has been deployed. Collins, what was that first lap like?
I'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah, everybody getting very greedy off the line, and I believe we're going to start seeing some cars come into the pits. I'll tell you what would have been great, would have been an actual safety car to really help the guys at the back end of the field.
What then?
Oh, are we back at Green Flag Racing? Deranged already beaten Prodigy into turn 1. And he's forcing him around the outside. Deranged up into 3rd place.
What the hell are you doing? Tommy?
There's been an incident at the back of the grid with one of the Ferraris. Oh, Deranged has made a mistake. I believe Deranged made a mistake as well coming into turn 4. He's still wheel to wheel with Slav King. This is great to see his elbows getting out. But still, Slav King not being able to get close enough for a real chance of an overtake. He has a huge exit speed over the Force India. I wonder if the Force India has any kind of damage. Top holes rejoining. Oh, deranged, be careful there. That car sounds very sluggish coming through turn 12. Oh, and he's had some kind of damage to the rear end of his car because the rear tyres are screaming and they are sliding all over the place. But I am going to ride on board now with Blaze by Gaming, who is chasing down Gaming Things, who's already beat Gaming to the fastest lap of the race so far. If this stands the way it is, he will gain 1 point for the fastest lap. Will Gaming clipping the grass on the exit of turn 4. Yellow flag in sector 3. I believe Tadpoles is back in the session now, taking control of his McLaren. But I'm riding on board with O now. Oh, he keeps joining and then leaving, so... Oh, is there a car going off track? Oh, there's a battle between Deranged and Tommy. Tommy already pulling away by a significant margin in the shorter space of time, but he locks up into turn 10. And Deranged now under attack by Harley in the Mercedes. Game of Things now setting the fastest lap with a 1:22.3. Oh, Blaze by Gaming is already in the pits. Are the Super Softs really dying this early?
Too early.
And he's gone for the soft tyre.
We should not be dying this early.
Still, Black Prodigy reclaiming his, no, if anything, he's improved by now, being second in the race. So I just want to see with Deranged if there's actually anything happening why all these guys are jumping up the grid so much. His tyres look very worn at this point. I can't imagine his spins or accidents would have done him many favours. But Blazed by Gaming is straight behind him on his soft tyres. I believe DRS being activated. Oh, Deranged gets him on the switchback, but they're still going side by side through turn 11. Then through the auto spin curve. And there's too much oversteer on that Force India. Gaming Things in the pits now as well. Gaming Things opting for the mediums. And Dragon on speed pitting as well. And he's in for a front nose change. I think there was only about 3 drivers so far that haven't actually pitted for new tyre, not new tyres, a new front wing. Holly, how are you on circuit at the moment? Have you, I can see you pitted yourself. How was the tyre life on the Super Softs?
I was on the spot. Super goes on the top. What I need was speed coming out of turn 1.
My apologies, but big news now is that Blaze by Gaming has got past Gaming Things on his softer compound of tyres. Gaming Things will be chasing down towards the end of the race, being on his mediums. I wonder if Gaming might end up 2-stopping as well. Just because if for some reason he can go faster at the end of the race, then he will be blazing past Blaze by Gaming. He's still got a full ERS, so I don't think there's any reason why he shouldn't be able to stay with him. I mean, Blaze is using his ERS and he's pulling away. Game is using it now, but I think that was a little bit late.
Half the time back. Half that. Half over. Left side of the barrier.
Let's ride on board with the McLaren. Yeah, I think this is game over if I believe Tadpoles has already pitted at some point for a new set of tyres and he's riding around the circuit through Sector 3 without a front wing. But Deranged now coming into the pits to fit a set of soft tyres and Tom has now got past him on the main straight. As does Collins. But I'm going to ride back on board with Gaming Things and Blaze by Gaming. This could be the net lead of the race, although don't count Slav King or Black Prodigy out so far. They're the only pair on the grid so far in the same team to have won races this season. Could Renault end up making it a hat-trick of wins? This Slav King is actually doing quite well. He's pulling that far ahead. Even if he compromises his own strategy, I think he's got a bit of a gap anyway to continue. The game is slowly falling back. Yellow sector 1. Oh, there's a Ferrari round. Oh, that was that a Alfa Romeo? No, I've just seen a car off to the side of the circuit. But as well on board with Owen, who's come into the pits, and Tommy getting past him on the main straight. I want to ride on board with Slav King now. I want to see how he's driving his car compared to the others. I think he's got more of a perfected setup compared to everyone around him. I wish I would have seen what he'd been able to do in qualifying. He's done an amazing job so far to come through. What happened at the back of the grid from the start? And he's now leading the race by over 5 seconds to what could be disputed as the fastest guy on the grid. I can't tell if the gap's stagnating or if Blaze by Gaming is actually catching him. Yeah, I think Slav is just getting into a little rhythm of his own. Let's ride on board with Deranged, who is chasing down the Ferrari of Owen. He's getting very close to his rear end. Come through the... Oh, is he gone? Oh... Bad luck for Deranged there, going off straight into the barrier at turn 11. Shame really, because I know he was actually hoping for a decent finish today. Still now close battle track between Collins and... Oh no! Oh, mate, I don't even know what to say. That could end up being a safety car with the Mercedes being in the middle of the track. I can't even get a better camera angle to see after what happened. Bad luck there, mate. I only just caught the end of what happened there, but what happened from your end?
Tommy moved over towards the pit lane wall and he caught my rear tyres. I had no control and veered into the barrier.
It's too early to say yet if it will be investigated by the stewards. Oh, Gamey's gone, Gamey's round. Gamey's lost it at turn 2. Blaze by Gaming's going to have the biggest smile on his face after that. Gaming getting a huge amount of wing damage. And he's had to yield a position to Black Prodigy, who's probably also got the biggest grin on his face right now. But the Australian clearly pulling away very quickly from the Williams driver on his Division 2 debut. Let's see, Tom already behind the Ferrari of Owen for 6th place. Oh no, oh, that was very early braking from the Ferrari. I wouldn't say that was a brake check, but that caught Tommy a bit off guard. Oh, but he's not been able to make turn 3 properly. I think he carried too much entry speed. Oh, but Owen's gone off the circuit at turn 4. Oh, Tommy's also spat as well on the exit. What the hell is happening with these tyres today? No, I think with the amount of accidental spins people are making, they're all flooring it, and they're trying to. You want to get back onto the circuit as quick as you can to lose as little time, but doing it, you're roasting your rear tyres. I think the only person actually managing the tyres properly so far was Gamey, but he's pitted now for a set of softs 10 laps into the race.
There's no way he can carry soft for 23 laps. He'll have to pit again.
So that could end up being game over for Game Things, the pole sitter. So we're on board with Tom now, because he's already catching up. He's about 2.5 seconds behind Owen. Let's just try make this round 2 and see if they can actually get overtakes without spinning on separate occasions. Tommy's car does look very stable, but it looks like he's a bit struggling to drive it. He's struggling with understeer so badly, but I can't see any damage at all on his car.
Don't know how though. I don't even know how he's got no damage.
I was a bit shocked that he didn't have any damage. I would have thought the collision he had with you, he would have at least ran into the side of your car. But unfortunately, it looks like he's got away scot-free with that.
I don't know what to say to that accident actually.
Well, you're still getting points for 10th place.
Yeah, but for my championship rival, that's nothing.
Is your championship rival Blazed by Gaming, who's now leading the race?
Oh, she can.
It's what is it with you? Because honestly, you have so much bad luck, and I think only half the races in Division 2 have actually been your fault with your non-finishes. You should probably put a warning sticker on the back of the Red Bull saying "Warning: back end will step out." But one thing I have noticed so far, as we get about a third of the way through the race, is I've not seen anyone with any penalties yet.
Ooh, Tommy going a little bit wide.
He's kicking up a bit of gravel. I'm actually still surprised he's not closing up as much to the Ferrari as he probably wants to. I'm just going to ride on board with the Ferrari to see if he's... No, that Ferrari looks completely fine. They're both probably on very worn tyres after their little spins, but they're still soldiering on.
I'm guessing Tommy does actually have damage.
But maybe it's like...
the yellow front wing.
There might be a flake missing or somewhere from one of his end plates, but like, you know, like the lime green thing, but there's no reason why he should be that close when he was like that far behind him. But he's catching up now after Owen going deep into turn 10. Still one. He's closing a bit in a straight line, but that's clearly not close enough for slipstream. I think he's running a higher downforce setting because he's not been able to make turn 3 properly. Even now, I'm just watching him, he's running on the AstroTurf. He's got to be careful, because if you end up hitting the curb on the outside, it's an auto spin.
You're going to go like Bahrain, turn 10, goodbye.
He's locking up again, and I can see on the timing, Gamey almost within a second of Dragon on speed, so I'm just trying to... Could you ride on board with those for me? I'm going to stick here with the Red Bull Ferrari fight. Gamey setting me fast out, and Tommy opening his DRS. But he's on the outside, he has to yield into that. Oh, Owen's gone straight on.
Gamey is having Dragon on speed like a rabid dog.
I'm going to ride more of that now just because I'm aware of how close the gap is. I was just saying that the Ferrari looks very unstable at the rear end. I think the Ferrari is running a more oversteery setup.
Dragon went wide, leaving the game. Gamey have the opportunity going into the hairpin, now coming up into turn 6.
It's still Gamey clearly with the faster tyre. I still wouldn't even rule Dragon on speed out for a podium at the moment. I think the only people doing the sensible race at the minute is Prodigy and Blazed. Because let me just see how many stops they've made. Obviously, Gamey, Deranged and Tadpoles have made 2 stops. Everyone else has made at least 1 stop. So unfortunately, I don't actually think Gamey is going to win this Grand Prix, but it's still on the cards for a podium. Oh, so I've been running wide off into the gravel again. But compared to Blaze, I'm just trying to... Because...
Blaze has 10 lap off.
Yeah, but he can take them still a little bit further. If he has another set of softs ready, he's got a decent gap to Prodigy behind.
Yes, but remember, you can only use mandatory tyres, or
I think the mandatory tyres, it's one of the harder compounds, so say if you started on the super soft, you'll have to use at least like either one set of the softs or a set of the mediums. So if you 2-stop for some reason, you go into the super softs, that's still not the mandatory tyre being chosen.
Deranged us off into the gravel.
And Tommy into the pits as well. Has Deranged got front wing damage?
Yeah, half his wing's gone. That's not good for a course India further.
Oh no, Tadpoles is... I don't know if Tadpoles is driving or if his AI car has gone round, but he's span and he's nearly wiped out Dragon on speed coming through turn 13.
His tyre was too... His tyres are getting overheated. I'm surprised if this will be a safety car because it's Tadpoles' car.
I think that McLaren is either going to end up crashing, or I'm happy that he's still going if he is driving. I've not seen any AI markers come above his car, so I hope he's still soldiering on.
He's going now at least, but he has to go slowly because those tyres are going to be...
Oh, is...
spin.
Yeah, that's rear tyre temperatures that are through the roof.
I'm surprised there hasn't been a safety car yet.
Oh, we need to get out of the way there, mate. You're going to cause a huge issue. If you're going to retire your car, please retire it in a safe place. And Owen getting a 3-second penalty.
With the safety car, because this is not acceptable where Tadpoles is. This could actually bring out an accident.
Yeah, if anyone else made a mistake through there, and he could be holding up one of the Renaults, I believe. Yeah, he's holding up Slav King at the moment. Yeah, I could tell that that wasn't weaving on purpose, but my God, that McLaren is sick.
Let's just see how he breaks into turn 1.
Oh, I'm more trying to keep an eye on the rear end of the McLaren. Oh, he's gone round again. Oh, he's gonna lose it. Is Tommy gone? Tommy's gone. Whereabouts did that happen?
It said sector 1/3.
The yellow for sector 1 was because Tadpoles is still doing donuts, and that's gonna bump Deranged up into 7th place eventually. Just hope there's somebody in sector 3 where I can see that car.
Tadpoles has reached it. He's reached it for a second. And he's gone again.
But still, what I want him to do is just calm down, head back to the pits, and just drive the race, because he's got points in the car here. As long as he can get round and get ahead of Tommy, and with everyone making these silly mistakes and spinning out, yeah, and there's the front wing gone. It's just not been his day. I know he's been very frustrated and stressed out trying to get his game downloaded for today. Because he plays bug. Oh no, yeah, he's going out. He's took himself out. I can't say I blame him, to be honest, but Blazebug Gaming already making his pit stop for the medium tyre.
I just got flashbacks of YouTube Championship back in 2015, that flash.
This... I don't know if this will work into Gamer's favour or not. Deranged 3-second time penalty. Deranged at the minute, the only car to be a lap down.
In my opinion, with the instance of Apples, that should have been a safety car from sector 3 up towards turn 3.
What I'd love some of the new games to do is, say even if you're in spectator mode, if there's like a steward mode or something where we have the choice of bringing out a safety car or not. Because that was dire. Like, I know he was off the track, but it was not in a safe place at all.
The one thing they could do is like bring out red flags and give them a time period of how long you have red flag for.
That sounds quite sensible, I'd say.
Oh, deranged!
Is deranged gone?
No, that was not nice. Oh.
I just hope. He might get away the Sauber. There he is, taken to the AstroTurf to get back onto the circuit. If he has any harder compound of tyres left, I'd suggest he pits and then goes along to the end of the race. He might be able to get, oh no, he's cutting corners to try and get back to the circuit. Please mate, you're going to watch this back and you might end up regretting this if anyone else makes any more mistakes, but still 7th place, not too bad. As long as you keep going, you're going to get points.
I'm just looking at the gap between Blaze and Slapking. The gap is 3.3 seconds.
I don't know what Deranged is doing now. He's quite deranged, I'd say.
What?
We'll have none of that. Let's ride on board with Slav King. I'm going to be watching the gap really closely between him and Blazebug Gaming. Yellow set to 2, that probably is deranged. Owen into the pits, and Slav King's into the pits as well. Owen getting a stop-go penalty. See, Slav King also speeding into the pit lane. This may have ruined his podium chances, especially if Gamey will be quite close to him. I know Gamey's overtaken him now. I wouldn't be going mediums yet though. I'd say go mediums somewhere around lap 15.
15, this is lap 19.
Yeah, I know. I still think at this point the softs would be able to go the distance. So I'd say the top 5 actually are in a chance of winning the race. I know that Dragon on Speed's tyres are 14 laps old, but if he can stretch them out to maybe their 20 laps or so, he might be able to claw his way to a podium. Deranged is retired.
He had a good race at least.
But still, I hope you had fun, and all being well, we'll see him next week for round 5 at Monaco. Would you do me a favour and look at the race director and see who's like got an amount of penalties? Because I don't know who's going to win this race. Who's closest? I should be right on board with Slav King.
Right, every you two is in the top 5. And I will say
Dragon on speed getting a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Right, I'm just gonna say from lap 20 of New Horizons Racing Division 2, your runners in the Spanish race so far, Blazed by Gaming leads in the Sauber, followed by Gamey Things in the second place for Williams, Black Prodigy riding off the podium at the moment in Renault, and Slav King also in the Renault in 4th place, and Dragon on speed still managing to stay with them for 5th place in the other Sauber, and Owen, the sole running Ferrari, should be in for a good points finish today in 6th place, even though he is 1 lap down.
I've just had a look at the race director, and none of the top 3 got penalties.
I believe Gamey had one. Unless if he's already served it. I think it was a time penalty in terms of an actual offence. Still, the fastest lap at the moment is to Gamey Things with a 1:21.2. The only other driver even within range of that is Blazebot Gaming with a 1:21.6, but I don't think Blazebot Gaming will get the fastest lap unless he pits for Super Softs later on in the Grand Prix.
Yep, Gaming doesn't have one. You must have taken it.
That would explain him being so far behind. I mean, he's 14 seconds behind the leader. And I don't know if his softs will end up going to end the race. I mean, we've still got about 12, 13 laps left.
13 laps.
The Dragon on speed, ditching his mediums and going for the soft tyres. Yeah, I think realistically the only people that could challenge for the win so far would either be Prodigy or Gamey, but I think Gamey's going to need to pit.
But at the moment, Gaming's car does look pretty stable.
All the remaining runners so far have got 2 stops. Let's go through the non-finishers so far. His 7th place was Deranged in the Force India, having made 3 stops in this race and continuous mistakes of spin out and tyre overheating. He's decided he's had enough. Then in 8th place for Red Bull is Tommy, who I believe actually had an accident somewhere around the circuit, making 2 stops in this race. Tadpoles in the McLaren had a huge... I can't describe it more than a mess of a race, but I just really hope the best of luck for him in the next few races, having made 2 stops so far, and Collins being caught in a crash between Tommy on the main straight. Sorry there. And the Mercedes driver only scoring 1 point today, and the Ferrari of Bradley in 11th place. Believe, did Bradley end up having a crash? And rounding off in 12th place in Toro Rosso, it was Broke Gorilla, who I also believe had a crash at some point on the circuit. I think the driver of the day so far has definitely got to be Slav King, having made a mess of his qualifying, and he's in touch for podium, and he's gained 7 positions so far. Apart from that, apart from the guys that have DNF'd, it's 2 people haven't changed position, and the only person left in the runners who's lost a position is Gamey, who's still soldiering on in 2nd place. Actually, I should probably be riding more to his camera, because with these would you say the softs can definitely only go about 15 laps? Because I can see there's graining on Gamey's car, but there's... I wouldn't say they're dying. He might be able... I don't know if he'll be able to take them 10 more laps. I don't think he'll end up winning the race, but his chances of a podium could slip out of his hands if he's not careful.
I don't want to... Oh, We have 11 laps left.
So you'd think if you've not made your pit stop by now, you'd be tarnishing your position.
If you haven't made your pit stop, I would definitely go into the engine until you end this race.
I could definitely say at this point in the race, if you're going to pit for mediums, bad call. But still, I wouldn't even go super softs yet, because they seem to be frying quicker than eggs around the circuit. Top hole's finally leaving. I don't even know he was still watching.
Again at lap 29. Do hit a lap 29. You compromising by a lot.
I've just realised how close Slav King is to Black Prodigy. Prodigy is on 1 lap older tyres than Slav King, so I don't think there'll be that much different tyre wear, but the gap is less than 2.5 seconds between the two.
Yeah, I don't want to bring this up, but Slav King's number on his car, 13, some bad luck.
Oh, that's just a European superstition. Pastor Maldonado had 13, and look how well he did in Formula 1.
Yeah, 2014 Spain, he won it.
2012, get your facts right. Gamey already in the pits going for the super softs. I don't believe they will make 8 laps toward the end, so I think that's game over for Game Things with the podium champs.
No, it will not last.
If he had any softs left, he could probably still been with a shout, because he would be chasing down Slav King for 3rd place.
He's just in the middle of his own.
But I still think Game will get at least 4th place as long as he doesn't crash. He's got a healthy enough gap ahead of Dragon on speed, and Owen behind was. I don't know why it's saying he's a minute and 15. It should just say he's a lap down.
Well, to be honest though, Blaze, I don't think has actually pushed him since he unlapped himself.
So I want to ride on board with Blaze. This is annoying because I've lost my graphic thing, so I don't know which driver I'm actually looking at.
Yeah, Blaze, 24.2 seconds in front of Black Prodigy. 2 laps difference on the mediums.
I don't think that will come too much into effect towards the end of the race. I mean, if we've only got 5 laps, and if I expect the mediums to go 20 laps, I think he's got the win in the bag at the moment. But there's yellow flag in sector 3. I think he was just getting out of the way of Dragon on speed. Run on board with Slav King now, who still hasn't caught up to his teammate as much as he probably would have wanted to.
Unless it's his team tactic.
Unless he's been told to back off and keep Gamey behind, but I just hope they know that the super softs probably won't last, and we are expecting Gamey to get the bonus point for the fastest lap at the moment, if he's even gone. Gamey has set a fast lap of 1:21.2 on the super softs, but he's going to be really rapid coming up to Slav King. But I think there could be a scrap between the two toward the end of the race.
This is what I would have liked.
Yeah, it'll be a great last lap fight, but would you say Gamey could possibly risk a puncture towards the end of the race as he sets a new fastest lap of a 1:20.2?
He could get a puncture, but as you know, in racing, anything can happen.
We'll see. It'll be absolutely fantastic if he's able to pull it off. But Slav King now within 1.6 seconds of his teammate. I think the only reason Prodigy would have been ahead was if he was using his ERS, and I could see that Slav King's got a lot more ERS than. Well, no, they've actually got a similar amount of ERS to each other, unless if Prodigy made a mistake somewhere. But
is Slav King attacking Prodigy?
He doesn't look like. I mean, they're both driving the cars similarly to each other. The only thing is that Slav King's gaining on Prodigy, and Gamey is gaining on Slav King even faster.
Could Gamey get a double DRS next lap? He
could do, but the race is really going to come down to the wire here in terms of not even the last podium slot. Second place is up for grabs here. Is the the DRS is open on the Williams, but I don't think he's close enough on this occasion. But he's got the two Renaults in his sights.
Yeah, Blaze has just.
Oh, this could be messy. Is he gonna do it? Right, I need to turn to a different camera angle. He clips the inside grass. But still, don't panic, guys, because Gamey is on a soft compound, and they will die towards the end of the race. Oh, he's sort of like snaking there. I think he lost the back end coming into the braking zone. I'm expecting Gamey to pass him under DRS down this straight. Yeah, just pulls to the outside. He's just going to sling straight past him. Owen getting another time penalty in the Ferrari. He is great defending by Prodigy. Gamey's back end just slid out through turn 12. Yeah, he lost it on the exit.
He's only been on those for 3 laps.
Yeah, but it's like he could end up risking it toward the end of the race, so he still might get 4th place, but still guaranteed points for everyone here today. Oh no! Oh wow!
Oh Christ!
That was a huge accident, and I think Prodigy and Gamey is going to be kicking himself. But like in racing, we said you never know what's going to happen. This will bump Dragon on Speed in the Sauber up to 3rd place for the podium, and Owen in the Ferrari is going to get 4th place here today at least. That was shocking. I was hoping for a bigger scrap towards the end of the race.
I'm just speechless.
I'm disappointed. I was looking forward to that.
Oh, well, think about it. At least we know Owen's going to have a big result.
Does anyone know if Dragon on Speed has a mic for the podium interview? But Owen's still almost 2 laps down, so he needs to pick up the pace a little bit, because if Blaze Gaming finishes the race, then Owen will finish when the leader finishes the race. So I think we have got enough laps to do it, but that depends if he's at risk of being lapped again. So he probably still thinks he's going to get 6th at this point. But we'll see when he comes around next time.
I don't know. I know Owen, but not a lot. I don't think he might have noticed that them 2 are out or still racing.
He's going to find it a bit shocking when he sees his position going to 4th place, as long as he keeps it up to the main straight. I just want to ride on board with him to see if he will gain his positions on this lap. I never knew that Spain could throw up such a different race actually compared to Baku.
Oh, and you know you could still finish the race on them compounds.
Unless if he is aware of what's happened, because if he would have seen it at the bottom of the screen, he's going on the soft tyres, he's serving his penalty. Maybe I don't know. I was going to say maybe he could go for fastest lap, but I was still going to ride him. But yeah, he's now been bumped up into 4th place. We're heading into the final 3 laps of this race.
Now, what they say? It's gonna get spicy.
It's going to get spicy. Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately for us, like, there's actually no racing for the next 3 laps or so. But if you want to keep in touch, up to date with New Horizons, we have spaces available in both our divisions. Division 1 will be racing tomorrow night around Brazil for the penultimate round of our championship, while Division 2 head to round 5 next week for Monaco. Follow us on Twitter at NHRL Official, and follow us on Facebook for our stewards' inquiries and investigations at New Horizons Racing League.
For people who are interested for tomorrow's race, you will be seeing me.
Because you were a naughty boy and you made an absolute episode of your race in Mexico last week.
So I've got a 2-race ban, and I'll be commentating with the Division 1 commentator tomorrow.
Yep, I think we might end up having about 3 commentators, because I'll still expect to talk with Gamey through qualifying, but at least we know the commentary team is in safe hands until the end of the season. Okay, he's still getting the fastest lap. I know he's in the top 10, but do I give it to him anyway, just because he hasn't finished the race? I mean, he's completed over 90, I think 90% of the race.
Yeah, 90% is 30 laps.
And Gamey complained in the chat with the incident between him and Prodigy. I think everyone's a bit shocked of the amount of crashes. I mean, the amount of spins I was actually expecting. It's not because these guys being less experienced. I see it in pro divisions all the time, but I'm more surprised of the amount of cars that have come together this race on the main straight.
4.
Yeah, and at the start of the race, the 2 Ferraris came together coming off the line. They barely got out the grid slots. That Renault Gamey is Prodigy. Yeah, I saw it at the back, and then I think Tadpoles ended up getting caught up in that as well.
Wait, what the hell are them 2 doing?
I want to see just on the detail of the position changes. Definitely Slav King for driver of the day for me. If he's managed to get up to 2nd place, he's gained 9 places. But we're riding on board through sorry, I just gone blank. Riding on board with Blazeball Gaming through the final couple of corners before he takes his 2nd win of the season. That's as long as he doesn't mess up the last 3 corners. He does it okay. Just 1 more corner to go, and yep, he's done it. He's weaving. He's happy. Blazeball Gaming wins the Spanish Grand Prix for Division 2.
Yep. In my opinion, he should be in Division 1 with that 28.5 second gap.
He's definitely got the pace for it. I'll happily have him in here until the end of the season, but preparations for Season 3 as a whole are still being written, not as we speak, but we're still sorting it out. As Slav King comes over to claim 2nd place for Renault with a 5-second penalty for his unserved stop-go.
He's going to keep 2nd anyway.
Yeah, I don't think Dragon on Speed's got that much of and I think he's got penalties, but not any, unless if he's got nearly like 60, maybe even 2 minutes worth of penalties, and then Owen is not going to be on the podium. Owen being given blue flags, sloppily gets out the way, but I think I think the finishers of the race will be very happy.
Yep, Owen finishes the race on lap 31.
Dragon on Speed coming home to take 3rd place. Absolute stunning drive for the Sauber driver on his Division 2 debut.
I bet he's more shocked than anything.
Well, you would be. This is why I love racing so much. But yeah, as the drivers come out onto the podium, that is the race. Our finishers today. The winner, Blazed by Gaming, and the Alfa Romeo takes the win. I don't think he gets any bonus points for today since they were all taken by Game Things. Slav King in the Renault taking 2nd place, Dragon on Speed in the Sauber for 3rd place, and Owen in the Ferrari for 4th, with the last of the runners. Non-finishers were Game Things in the Williams in 5th place, and Black Prodigy in the Renault in 6th, who came together on the main straight. Deranged, who had had enough in the Force India, takes 7th. Tom having an accident on circuit comes 8th for Red Bull. Tadpoles in the McLaren finishes 9th after he decided he's had enough for today, and Collins finishing 10th for Mercedes finishes the points paying positions, and the other non-points finishers were the Ferrari driver of Bradley for 11th and the Toro Rosso of Broke Gorilla in 12th, who I believe had separate accidents on track. I'll see you in the post-race interviews. The podium interviews of New Horizons Race League Division 2. We just had our round 4 around Spain. We are joined by the top 2 as Dragon on Speed is unable to make it in time. But still, let's go to 2nd place, Slav King. How's that race for you?
Yeah, that's turned out a bit different than I expected it to be. After a horrific crash in qualifying, managed to make a massive comeback to 2nd place. Well, it was originally going to be 4th, but oh well. And yeah, I'm just happy about it.
Yeah, still, you drove a pretty decent race in terms of your tyre management was perfect, and in my opinion, you are driver of the day just because of how many positions you gained. I know that 4 of them were due to crashes, but still, it was brilliant to see that you actually finished where you did.
Yeah, thank you. Something to celebrate about. 4 podiums in a row.
Harley, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, in qualifying, I was coming up to turn 10. I saw a Red Bull in the middle of the track. Can you explain what happened with that Red Bull?
I didn't catch it properly, but when I turned the corner, I just saw his car just go into the middle of the track. I tried to dodge the Red Bull, rear tyre hit the grass, and I just spun.
Yeah, because I got a direct impact even though I slowed down to like 60 miles an hour to avoid him.
I lifted off and still somehow spun out.
Anyway.
Red Bull drivers, that's what you get from them.
Yeah.
It's a bit harsh.
Volker's Batter, our race winner, congratulations for tonight. How do you feel on that?
I mean, that was I'm very glad with that result, but I feel like I could have looked after my tyres a bit better, but well done to Slav King, who obviously retired during qualifying and then managed to come back to 2nd in the end. But I felt like I controlled the race quite well for most of the race.
To be fair, sorry to put in, but there was a spin from Gamey about a third of the way through the race, and he had to make an unscheduled pit stop. Do you think if that wouldn't have happened, do you think you would have still won the race?
I mean, if he would have spun, I do think that he would. I do think he would have won the race, but it probably would have been very close between us two. But I do think he would have won the race.
But obviously he didn't, and it's not where you start, it's where you finish, so I've got no issues with you winning the race at all. But unfortunately, because Gamey actually did get pole position and the fastest lap, no bonus points this week, I'm afraid.
This doesn't matter, as long as it doesn't go to my championship contenders.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that at all. Harley, do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, Motive, at the end of the race, you pulled a 28 second gap. Just how?
I mean,
Just
I think
explain
it
to
was.
everyone how.
I mean, I think it was due to pit stop strategies and what happened during qualifying with Slavkin retiring in qualifying and then having to start in the softs. I was expecting him to go to the mediums, but he went to the softs instead. But when Amy had to make a unscheduled pit stop, I think it would have been a much closer race. And then when Slavkin and Prodigy held up Gamey, I think, well, I mean, it wasn't really holding him up, but it was slowing him down. I think that kind of helped me
He was slowing me down, and I was slowing him down, because I was being slowed down at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like we've got a bit of controversy here.
Oh, it's New Horizons, we love controversy. But I'm afraid, guys, we're out of time now. We're going to need to wrap this up. Congratulations to the top two. New Horizons will be back tomorrow for Division 1 with the penultimate round of Season 2. We'll be heading around Brazil, and Division 2 will be back next week for Round 5 at Monaco.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
You'll be hearing my lovely voice again.
Oh, yeah!
Alright, calm it down. Right. I've been Connor, alongside with Harley here. We'll see you guys next week in Monaco.